Starting broadcast. I think we're live.
We're live.
Merry holidays, everyone.
Merry holidays, Connor. Cheers.
December 2018 iFanboy Hangout.
December 2nd, 2018. I'm on my slanted Batman 1966 camera angle so that you can see my little mini Christmas tree. So there you go.
Excellent work. What do you have in your cup?
I have iced tea. We have two trees here in New York. We have a nice Doug fir, maybe 5 footer, 5 feet. Yeah, 5 footer outside on the patio with the white lights. And then we have a little Charlie Brown tree here inside with some ornaments. And then there's a wreath that we have not decorated yet above the lamp. But yeah, what do you got there behind you, Connor?
Hold on. I'm trying to figure out why I'm getting an echo, even though I've muted the YouTube channel.
Fun. So I'll just keep talking while you do that.
Yeah, you keep doing that because I'm starting to lose my mind.
You must have a rogue window open with the.
I know. I'm trying to find it, and it's. Oh, I think I found it. Oh God, I found it. Oh God. All right. At one point, I had 3 of us going, and I don't know where that one came from, but I found it. Okay. Whew.
There's nothing more maddening than having audio coming, and like honestly, when Google added that little speaker icon in a tab to tell you which tab had audio coming out of it, whoever did that at Google deserves a raise or a promotion or something.
Yeah, oh for sure. Yeah, I just have so many tabs open and different windows and different spaces that I couldn't find where it was. Right. I was looking. What kind of tree? It's a green one.
Nice.
I don't know what kind it is because
looks like a Fraser fir.
Yeah, it's very thick. It's one of the it's the
short needles and thick. Like
yeah. It's the biggest one we've bought in LA so far because we're gonna actually be in LA for Christmas this year. So we decided to get like
one I had.
And
what's that from?
And so I had to go out and get more lights because the normal amount of lights I had was not enough. So I had to stop in the middle and get more lights. Anyway, this is whiskey because it's been a long day.
Why has it been a long day? It's Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
it was
Tell me about your weekend.
I saw last night we saw Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
I saw it on Instagram. I was jealous.
Plus the really terrible prequel they made that I didn't even know existed, starring Tom Berenger and William Catt.
You know what?
Made in the 70s.
I absolutely can see that casting.
And
yeah,
it's a really bad movie. And Richard Lester directed it, who directed, A Hard Day's Night and part of Superman. But they're trying their best. You got to give them credit. They're kind of doing impressions. Tom Berenger really sort of captures the mannerisms of Paul Newman. And they both have those kind of really full lips. And William Catt kind of looks like a young. If you can get blurry-eyed.
I could see a casting director going, "Yeah, this could work." Like I could see that conversation happening. So.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
And was really awful was. So this was the first night the New Beverly opened, which is a big revival theater in LA. Quentin Tarantino bought it. And they played the one everyone was coming to see second.
Smart.
So you had to sit through the bad one.
It's a smart move.
And the thing was, it made it even worse in comparison. So like, it finished, and we had like a 10-minute intermission. And I was like, well, it was really bad, but there was some things that were okay, and I guess it wasn't like the worst thing. And then the next one starts up. You're like, oh, never mind. That was like a really bad TV movie in comparison to the original. It was great. I'd never seen it on the big screen before, obviously, and I hadn't seen it all the way through in maybe 15 years. So it was fun to go and watch.
It was interesting because as I was taking stock of my 2018 in media and in films. Like on my my Alamo account, it keeps track. Like I see every movie I went to go see this year, and it wasn't 1-to-1, but the ratio was pretty close. Like I went to a lot. Like we saw we tried to see The Fugitive. We went to see let me pull it up. But I saw more older movies, not more.
Have you seen anything this year at a theater that's not Alamo?
Yeah. Sometimes I don't have to. Like if something's not playing at Alamo, I'll go. Where else did we go? Oh, the AMC up in Lincoln Square. We went up there. But luckily I keep track of that stuff through my Fandango account. Well, no, it's important because you can forget what movies you saw, right?
For sure, and especially if you're doing a show in a week about all the stuff you watched, you need to have lists of your films you saw.
Hey, listen, I am 27 visits away until I get top brass in the Alamo Victory. In order to get that, you need to see 50 movies a year.
So almost one a week.
So do you know what my are you a member of the Alamo loyalty program?
No, because it hasn't opened here yet.
All right. So they've been
building it for 2 years now.
So the levels of I would tell you to sign up for Victory, their rewards program, because it is worth it. But when there are 5 levels, okay? The first level is Citizen. That's just when you sign up. Then after you go to 5 movies, you become a fighter, right? Then after 9 visits, you become a captain.
All right. This sounds like our patron levels.
Then after 13 visits, you become the level that I'm at, which is the commandant.
Really?
I am the commandant.
Then you should never go see another movie.
I'm the Midnight Dayman. And then once you get to 50 visits, then you get top brass.
I assume it resets though at the
it's a yearly thing. But I've been commandant for 2 years now, so it's fun. So I saw. So in this movie, in this year, I saw Real Genius, The Fugitive, and Top Secret. All right. So 3 of the 1, 2, 3
revivals.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3 of the 10 movies I saw were old movies. So what? 30.
Yeah, we used to go a lot to New Beverly, but they closed for renovations. Now they were closed for like at least a year. So it's been a while since.
I'll be honest, because the Alamo in Brooklyn, if I'm completely honest with you, Connor, can I be honest with you?
You can be honest with me, and I've been to that one, so I know what you're talking about.
So the Brooklyn Alamo.
With you.
It's a beautiful theater, beautiful location, great stuff. Their programming, if I'm being honest.
Are you being honest? Be honest with us.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel. Their programming leaves a little to be desired.
As compared to
the one in Yonkers.
Interesting.
So here,
I assume they have a programmer that's individual to each location.
They do. And I'm trying to find the Yonkers.
So you should find out who that person is, and you should just pester them until they quit or ban you.
Yeah, I know who it is. And what's funny is that because a good mutual friend of ours who I work with lives up by the Bronx, and him and his wife go to Yonkers all the time because that's closer. And my cousin, who lives 2 blocks from me but has a car and is a huge movie buff, has been going to Yonkers since it opened. It never goes to Brooklyn because he's a weirdo and doesn't go to Brooklyn. But and he goes to Yonkers all the time. And I'll be honest, like they have better shit playing there. Like it's.
What do you have Christmas movie wise?
That's what I'm
at Brooklyn.
I'm going to look right now. Hang on a second. Okay, December specialty screenings.
While you're looking, I'm going to answer Zach's question, which is I've only had this one whiskey, but it was 4 ounces when it started, so I don't know. It was up to here. It's been a day. Continue.
All right, so here's the issue: is that Alamo just shows all the specialty screenings,
right?
And they don't show which ones are which one. But where is the
ArcLight Theater in LA? The chain, they do a lot of Christmas films, so we hope to go to one of them.
Yeah, so just on a great example, so they're doing Elf, which is whatever. So the Brooklyn.
I love that you hate Elf.
I don't hate Elf. I love Elf.
You don't like Elf that much.
No, I like Elf. I don't get me wrong. I like Elf. It's my niece Abby's favorite movie, and it's fun.
When you finish this discussion, put a pin in Elf because I want to come back to Elf in a different context.
Well, and I also we have to go back to the concept of your Butch Cassidy Sundance Kid thing because I had something to go from there as well too. But
okay, I have also other topics we can get to.
Great. Oh, this is gonna be excellent. And for anyone missed topics, everyone topics. All Alamos are doing Love Actually, Alex. That's like across.
We should do that.
Anyway,
I love that movie.
Anyone missing our good compatriot Josh Flanagan? He's here in spirit. Let's raise a glass to him. He's taking the night off. So the Alamo in Brooklyn, they lean more towards like Satan Claus.
Oh, it's grindhousey stuff.
Grindhousey stuff where the theater in Yonkers, it will show Rocky IV. You know,
right.
like they're showing American Tail. They're showing, Eyes Wide Shut, Bad Santa. This
is related to the New Beverly in that before Tarantino bought it, it showed a lot more. You'd get like a Hitchcock double feature or a Bogart double feature or like a thriller where we got The Birds and Charade, that kind of thing. Now with Tarantino running it, it leans to the very heavy grindhouse side.
Which I get is a thing, and that's great. But like, so for perfect example, my cousin had an extra ticket and took me to go see. They did a double feature in Yonkers of Godfather 1 and Godfather Part 2. How do you say no to that? That was great. Like they do that all the time, that sort of stuff. Where in Brooklyn,
did you get pasta while you were watching it?
Oh no, I wish. Oh, I don't know what I got. I did eat. The menu was good. But they do those kind of double features and things like that all the time there. Where I feel like in Brooklyn, it's like this crazy 70s movie you've never seen before, which is like, I get it, but I don't want. I'm old. Just like it just
Yeah, I get it.
Let's see. I pulled up Yonkers. Yonkers is showing the Hudsucker Proxy.
Oh, right.
Great. They're showing Elf. They're showing let's see. Anything else?
You'd think that any kind of theater buffy theater would show Coen Brothers stuff more.
Right. And so meanwhile, so those are a couple there, and then in Brooklyn, they're showing The Wizard of Gore.
Yeah, you got a horror guy running your
VCR Party and Dial Code Santa Claus on Weird Wednesday and like Pennies from Heaven, and like I get it, and I get that there's like a movie film buff kind of thing, but there's some of us who just want fun movies. So
we have the New Beverly thing.
And as Alan pointed, I am drinking from an Alamo pint glass. I'm drinking from my Star Wars: The Last Jedi pint glass that I got from Alamo. So there you go. Which, by the way, can I tell you a dirty secret?
Okay.
I've been thinking about it for like when you're walking to the subway and you just think about you think about nothing and you end up thinking about things. I think I like The Last Jedi.
Well, you can. That's totally fine. It might be up there,
with the exception of the thin New Girl casino segment. Like all the
even the slow motion car chase in space.
No, and the slow motion car chase, everything but the slow motion car chase. But the Luke Ray stuff. And the Rey, Kylo, and all that sort of stuff, I think I like it.
That's fine. You're allowed to like it. People are allowed to like it. So this is the New Beverly schedule for the month of December.
Oh, they're showing Goodfellas.
Well, they are showing Goodfellas, but it's in conjunction with Machine Gun McCain.
Oh.
Starring John Cassavetes.
Ooh.
And so they're showing The Untouchables with Capone, but I would rather see The Untouchables and Goodfellas together.
Right.
And I get why they split it up, because that's why I would have just go to one.
Can you go to one or the other, or that you have to go to double feature?
Sure. It's like it's a gentleman's system.
It's a gentleman.
The seats that are taken for the first showing are reserved for, you know what I mean? Like
right.
You don't take people's seats. So that's why it makes it difficult just to go to the second one.
Gentleman's game.
Now this is a good one for Christmas here. This is on December 20th. Scrooged and Christmas Vacation.
Oh, that's a great combination. That's great. That's fun. Yeah, you see, to be honest, here in New York, Nighthawk is probably my best bet to go see Scrooge or something like that.
Has that one opened up yet in Park Slope?
Not the one by your apartment, but by the one in Williamsburg I go to.
That's a good one, Ron.
What?
It's a Wonderful Life and A Christmas Story.
Very nice. Very nice.
And also Miracle on 34th Street and the Santa Claus the movie.
That's a great lineup.
Although then you have Die Hard with the silent partner.
Don't get me started. So at Nighthawk in Williamsburg, we've got Home Alone, Love Actually, Christmas Vacation, Tommy. Why is everyone showing Eyes Wide Shut? Is Eyes Wide Shut a Christmas movie?
No.
I think it takes place during Christmas.
So that doesn't mean it's a Christmas movie.
I agree with you. No, but I think people are starting to manipulate it into a Christmas movie because that's the thing. We go back to this. We do this every year. there are movies that are about Christmas that are
Right.
Christmas movies, and there are movies that take place at Christmas that are not Christmas movies.
Like Kiss
Die
Kiss Bang
Hard.
Bang, which I love, is not a Christmas movie.
Lethal Weapon, not a Christmas movie. Die Hard,
Yeah.
not a Christmas movie.
Right. That's fine. It has to be, and people say, well, It's a Wonderful Life doesn't take place specifically on Christmas. It's about the spirit of Christmas.
It's about
the spirit of Christmas.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, everyone.
Okay. So I was at my in-laws yesterday, and we started talking about It's a Wonderful Life, and my niece is 15 or 16, and I was explaining It's a Wonderful Life, and I was getting teared up. I was getting like just talking about it. I started crying.
I'm waiting till the moment I can watch it. That's basically where my life is at now.
Yeah.
When can I watch It's a Wonderful Life?
Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve.
So I was thinking, this is related, obviously. I was thinking in the shower while I was getting ready for the show.
Another great place to think about. If I'm honest, can I be honest?
Great idea.
Great place to think. All right, so you're in the shower.
So when is the last sort of Christmas movie canon film? You know, the films that people consider part of the must-watch canon, the ones that get showed on cable TV all the time, was either Love Actually or Elf, whichever one came last. But there hasn't been one since then, and it's been at least 10 years. Right?
So Love Actually is 2003, and Elf was 2003.
Right. So that's the last year we had that's 15 years ago. We had a canon Christmas film.
That's a great point.
Why is that?
Terrorism? No.
Also, possibly related, and this could be related. We were Megan and I were debating films. We saw Creed 2 on Friday.
I'm going tomorrow night. Don't spoil it for me.
I don't say anything. And and then we were discussing the all media show because I was showing her the lineup that we've got up so far.
Yep.
And she was saying there was nothing that came out this year that she would consider great or would vote for Best Picture if she had a vote.
Well, that was wasn't it?
One movie? Which one? Old Man and the Gun. I'm sorry, The Old Man and the Gun she'd vote for. But
it was like last year though, wasn't it?
And she's wondering if we're finally seeing the consequence of only blockbusters and only super indie films, and we're not getting great sort of, you know, it's been happening for years, obviously, but getting pushed out more and more.
Well, okay, so you got several topics here going on here first.
Okay.
But to your last point, I agree with you. We're seeing the byproduct of the blockbuster, indie, whatever, but we're also seeing the byproduct of Netflix and Amazon and all the fragmentation of entertainment and all of the creative dollars.
That shouldn't affect the quality, though.
Yeah, but also what's happening is that you've got directors who are making a movie that might not be so great or whatever, and their next movie would have been amazing, but they are getting hired the next blockbuster, and that's what's happening.
That's what happened to Coogler.
It's happening. I can tell you there are people. There are people who I can't talk about that it's happening to right now.
Well, and you can't blame them.
Yeah.
So you take an indie director who had to scrape together everything to make their film, and you offer them a big paycheck to do a Marvel or DC or a whatever movie,
blockbuster.
No one's going to blame them for taking that job.
Yeah. So going back to your other point, though, Connor, about the Christmas movies, I think you're also seeing the byproduct of cable and the Hallmark
channel,
all that stuff, because a lot of the energy is going into that versus other ones. And it's funny.
Now Netflix, they've got the Kurt Russell Christmas Chronicles film, which I'm still waiting to watch. I haven't watched it yet, but they also are doing just almost as many as Hallmark is now. But you're not getting the big theatrical release, and some have come out, but they just aren't hitting in the zeitgeist the way that the films did up until that point. You used to get one every 5 or so years. You'd get like a classic that people would watch over and over again.
Right. So now to that point, I just quickly Googled modern Christmas movies.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and so these are the results that we get. Right, the new Grinch movie, which isn't any good. Right.
I don't know, but it did very well. But it's not a classic because there's been like 3 versions, and the one considered the classic is the original cartoon versus the Jim Carrey live action one versus this animated one. It's all the same story.
Yeah, I agree with. Did you see the new Netflix one with Kurt Russell?
I literally just mentioned that 5 minutes ago, Ron. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm looking forward to watching it because I love those movies.
I know. Yeah, I do want to watch that.
Sexy Santa.
So apparently, that Why Him movie with James Franco is a Christmas movie.
No, it's not.
Well, this is what Google's telling me. Bad Santa 2.
Again, not.
What about the Night Before with Seth Rogen, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Anthony Mackie?
No, and they actually tried a couple years ago with Office Christmas Party. You know, they tried to sort of do that sort of, gross out comedy, but put it in the Christmas season, and it didn't really catch. I watched it; it was fine, but I wouldn't like buy the Blu-ray to watch it again every year. You know what I mean?
So, according to this article on Mike, which is funny, here are 10 modern Christmas movies that should become classics. Okay, you ready for this?
10 modern. Oh, that should be classics. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, The Night Before, which is the Seth Rogen one, right?
I haven't seen that one.
Krampus.
No, I haven't seen that one either.
Just Friends, which came out in 2005, and that's Ryan Reynolds and Amy Smart.
No.
Okay.
That is no. I liked that movie, but no.
Carol. Kate Blanchett and Rooney Mara. That's
not about the spirit of Christmas. That's about two sad lesbians who can't find love because of society.
The Polar Express. Ugh. Even though it does
the creepy Uncanny Valley thing. That's the problem with that one.
Even with the G-Dad, it's still the Uncanny Valley. It's still creepy.
Yeah.
Right?
And Zemeckis.
Elf, which I would say is already on the list.
It's already on the list.
Yep. This Christmas with Idris Elba.
I don't think I've seen that.
Idris Elba starred in what soon may be a Christmas classic, This Christmas. 2007. It's got an 81% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I live in a very pro Idris Elba's household, and I've never heard of that movie.
Yep. And then Disney's A Christmas Carol with Jim Carrey, also done by Robert Zemeckis in Polar Express style.
No, because just like The Grinch, there's multiple versions, and the older ones are considered the classic ones. Christmas
movies are hard. They're hard.
They're hard not to crack.
I do wish you had reviewed Carol when it came out and gave it that review. Like the
do we expose Josh here?
No.
No?
No.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
Right.
Let's leave him wondering.
That's no fun. I had another topic, unless you have a topic you want to get into.
Well, I was going to ask you, what about, and thank you, Chris, in the chat room, because he says Carol from HR, and I almost said Carol, but I didn't. What about The Holiday?
See, I keep wanting to watch that one, and I haven't. That's the one with Kate Winslet
and Cameron Diaz, who, by the way, fun fact, Cameron Diaz has retired, much like Gene Hackman.
I was hoping you were going to say, fun fact, Kate Winslet is luminous in person.
Well, Kate Winslet is luminous in person.
Because you were next to her at a concert, and you texted me the whole time about how luminous she was.
I was 2 rows in front of her at the Beacon Theater, and she was in jeans and like an army jacket. Like she was in civvies. No makeup.
It was like 15 years ago.
It was like 15 years ago. And there was such an aura around this woman. Like you knew, like it like angels singing, light coming down from the thing, whatever. It was. And I didn't even notice Sam Mendes.
That's the thing about like movie stars. They have that thing when they walk into a room.
That je ne sais quoi.
They have the spotlight comes to them.
Cameron Diaz retired. But yeah, so that's the movie with Cameron Diaz and Kate Winslet and Jack Black and Jude Law, and
that's right.
They switch houses. Cameron Diaz goes to England and Kate Winslet goes to LA.
It's like before Airbnb.
Yeah,
but kind of the same thing.
Yeah. Could that be considered a Christmas movie?
It could be. I haven't seen it. It's been on my Netflix queue for like 10 years, or however long it's been out.
Let me ask you about a not modern movie. Have you ever seen The Bishop's Wife?
Which one? The Cary Grant version or the Denzel Washington version?
Oh, there's a Denzel Washington version?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. No, I was talking about the Cary Grant version.
No, I have not.
All right. You should put that on your list this year.
I'd love to watch it. If it's on, I'll watch it.
Well, you can get it.
How?
The internet. It's all here for the taking.
So Have you been? I know you've been living a very busy life. Have you been keeping up with television this
Of
season?
course I have.
As we're at the fall finale point.
I am caught up. I have one Flash to watch. So I'm caught up on
Oh,
Arrow.
you're getting
Caught
caught
up
up.
on
You're getting
Legends.
caught up for the Elseworlds crossover
Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
next weekend.
I'm very excited.
How have you? Did you watch any new shows? Did you try anything, or was it just
No, I got not. I told you. I think we talked about this at the beginning of fall season. I got nothing. I got nothing.
Okay, so let me tell you about one of my biggest concerns about one of the shows I tried. There's been a couple of good ones. I really like The Rookie. I think it's a really good cop show.
Wait a minute. Wait, hang on a second. Hang on. I'm looking in the chat room. Is the Denzel Washington movie you're talking about The Preacher's Wife? Are those the same movie?
Oh, is it The Preacher's Wife? I think The Preacher's Wife was remade though. You can't trust what I say after 3 ounces of whiskey.
Yeah, no. So Denzel Washington is in a movie called The Preacher's Wife. Unknown if it was directed by Penny Marshall. I don't believe. Oh yeah, it's a remake of the 1947 film.
I knew that. I was right.
All right, there you go.
I think you should watch New Amsterdam. I think you'd really like it. It's a doctor show. Takes place in New York City. It's got a really good cast.
I like Ryan Eggold.
I think it's a really solid doctor show. Here's my problem with it.
Okay.
And I think I'm right about this. I'm 90% sure. They hit the fall finale this week, and they have yet to lose a patient. They've saved every patient, and so that's a lesson very early on. Both ER and Scrubs, which I think are the 2 best modern age doctor shows. I mean, Grey's Anatomy, but it's gone too long. Grey's Anatomy also did it, where you have to very early on lose a patient. The doctors have to be fallible. You have to know that at any point this could happen, because at this point now, no matter how dire the consequences, I just assume they're going to save the day, and they've done that every time so far.
Right.
I went to the Scrubs reunion a couple weeks ago, and
how was it to see the old gang back together?
It was great. First of all, they had not been together since the show had wrapped.
Were they happy to see you?
They were happy. They were happy to see me. I was happy to see them. There was hugs. They said in the 3rd episode after the pilot, they had an episode where everyone died. Everyone lost a patient, and the network was like, "Can't we just not lose the patients?" And they were like, "No, the whole point is that they have to fail. Like, what if we just lose one? No, they have to lose all of them. Well, what if the patients are dicks? No, like, so clearly, New Amsterdam is losing this network battle because they've saved everyone they've encountered. Right. But I think you'd like it. It's a good doctor show.
That reminds me, I watched on PBS the Julia Louis-Dreyfus Mark Twain Award ceremony thing. Julia Louis-Dreyfus got the Mark Twain Award, and it was like this 2-hour thing where they had everybody who worked with her come out and talk about it. And Seinfeld came out, and he does this whole great bit about network notes. And how when he's like, when you work on a TV show, they they give you notes, and the notes are horrible, and that's why network executives do not make TV shows. Like, his whole thing, right. His point was that she was a note, and that she.
They said you need to add a woman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So,
and the show was much better for it. Chris in the chat room mentioned A Star Is Born as a remake. Yes, there's been 4 Stars Borns, and the dearly departed Filmstruck app had all of them up to this point, up to the new one. We'll talk about the latest one on the All Media show, but we watched the 70s one last weekend with Barbara Streisand and Chris Christopherson, and it is fucking terrible. It is a horrible movie.
People love that movie.
I don't know anyone who loves that movie. I was talking to my relatives about it over Thanksgiving, and they were hesitant to see the new one because the 70s one was so bad.
Oh, wow.
It's really campy. I really wanted to the Judy Garland 50s one with James Mason. I have on my DVR. I recorded off TCM, and I've only watched part of the 30s one. But that's a classic film that I keep remaking over and over again.
Yeah. So speaking of film,
you watch no new shows, not one single new show.
No, I don't. I'm telling you, I don't. There was nothing that had my eye. I will tell you all the shows that I am subscribed to.
Watch New Amsterdam. Watch the pilot and see what you think of it.
Connor, man, it's got to be.
You love New York shows and you love doctor shows.
I do. No, I don't know if I love doctor shows. I love New York.
Grey's Anatomy.
So here are the shows that I'm actively watching. Okay.
That you're actively watching?
Welcome to my TED Talk. Okay, you ready?
You have a spreadsheet?
Arrow.
Okay.
Legends, The Flash, Grays, It's Always Sunny, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., The Orville.
Right.
And that's it.
Orville comes back in a couple weeks.
And that's it.
That's all. What have you thought? Are you caught up on Arrow?
Fully caught up on Arrow. He just got out of prison.
Oh, first of all, you didn't mention Supergirl, but Supergirl's been really good this season.
I don't watch Supergirl.
The last 2 seasons of Supergirl were rough. This has actually really been good. And Ron watches The Deuce.
I do. No, but here's the problem though, is that The Deuce, it's over, right? Like I didn't include shows like Mr. Robot, which is we're waiting to come back, or like like there's a whole bunch of shows.
Included the Orville.
Because the Orville's network and it's coming back. I also didn't include Riverdale, which I have season 2. I just haven't watched it yet.
What about Star Trek Discovery, which has been doing shorts? 15
right.
Shorts.
I haven't watched any of the shorts, but I do watch that show. I'm going to watch it. The Good Fight. I love The Good Fight. The problem is that TV, in the last, I'm going to say 3 years, we are probably in the middle of a fundamental shift in how TV works, and the old system doesn't work anymore. And to be honest, I'm having a hard time with the new system.
The new system doesn't work either. Both systems have problems.
It's all broken.
The new system's primary function is we're going to open the fire hose on you, like that scene in UHF with Weird Al, drink from the fire hose.
Yep.
And that doesn't work either. There is something to be said for order and the order of the season.
I'm a big fan of the weekly release.
The new show starts. The shows all started this month. They all end in this month. And you have shows in between, as opposed to there's 15 new shows every week for the rest of your life. It doesn't work either. It doesn't work. There's too many shows.
I don't like the binge. I don't like binge watching. I don't like the season drop. There was something to be said about an episode comes out and you talk about it the next day and then you speculate the whole week and then you see the next episode. And then there's also something to be said for them going away for a month for the holidays and you don't have to watch any new shows for a while.
Yeah, when you get to spend some time with your family and not be there's also the idea that creative people are more creative when they have restrictions than when they have carte blanche. And I think that goes for systems of content release. When there are restrictions, when you have shows come out at a certain time in the year, as opposed to whenever the fuck we want to release them.
Yep.
I just cord up to my microphone. I think it's worse. I think both systems are fucked. I mean, I don't think we've shaken out how it's going to happen. But we're just waiting for Apple to come in too with their content. It's just not going to get any better.
And let me tell you, don't, I mean, anybody who's Apple, whatever, sheep or follower or whatever, don't assume that a technology company is going to be able to figure that out very quickly.
Their shows are going to be, but I'm not worried about I'm just saying that they're another one that we still haven't figured it out because they haven't come in yet. And everyone who's a major player has to come in before it shakes out.
And Disney.
AT&T just bought Warner Media, which means that's all fucked up for a while. Like everything is all
Disney Plus on the horizon, my friend.
Everyone's not going to be paying for all these systems.
I know. And
the question is, how many can survive? How many can survive at the profit level they're at?
And what pisses me off is that not only is there's good stuff in there, there's good to great stuff, and there's a lot of chaff. And not only are companies like Netflix doing what they're doing, but then you have companies like Amazon and Google and Apple, and you're going to see not only restrictions around who has what, but hardware comes to play. Like, so for example, Amazon has got some great stuff. I've been enjoying the Romanoffs a lot. We're almost done with it.
And Miss Maisel comes out next week.
Right. I can love Miss Maisel. You can't Chromecast with a Fire Stick. Like I can't use YouTube TV and my Amazon Fire Stick. So I have to have a Chromecast in one input and a thing in the other input, and it's maddening. And it's just like And you're going to tell me that I'm going to be able to watch the Apple content on via Chromecast? No, I won't.
And we had there was a brief moment of panacea, right, where everything worked together and everything was on Netflix, and
it was brief.
And people who thought that was going to last forever were kidding themselves. And now we're seeing the result of that, where everyone sees the money that Netflix is making and is like, I want a piece of that money. And then now it's going to get sliced into a million slices. You're going to decide which 10 streaming services you want. You're going to miss out on the other 40 and their content. You're just not going to be able to keep up.
Yep.
It's too bad.
It really is too bad. And I feel like we, the audience, pay the price and suffer for it, because like something good, something good might come out, and things that get released so fast that unless you catch it at that moment, good luck finding anything on Netflix. It's baffling.
I still haven't watched Daredevil season 3.
Yeah.
And I love the first 2 seasons. I just haven't had time.
Yeah.
Chris in the chat room, a good question. What is it that YouTube is shutting down? They're not shutting down Red. They're just shutting down.
They're shutting down
scripted content.
Scripted content. So they're shutting down like Cobra Kai. I thought Cobra Kai got greenlit for a second season, and they might still release that, but they're not producing original series development. But YouTube Red and Premium and all that stuff is still there. So,
which is it's too bad about Cobra Kai. They need to either keep that going or sell it to or co-license it to another service, because there's no reason.
That was too successful not to.
All right. So let's enough bitching about media. You're gonna have to run the next topic.
By the way, Cobra Kai season 2, they already showed a teaser video at New York Comic Con. Like, it's gonna come out. So, all right. So my question to you, Connor, what I want to ask earlier, going back to films and going back to Cassie and Sundance Kid, a question was posed to me the other day, because I've gone on the record rather vocally, both here in the iFanboy world as well as in the regular world, as my biggest frustration about a lot of the movies and TV shows that we watch now and that we love is that people like us of our generation are now in a position to make these films and movies, and there's some sort of undying need to explain everything.
To what everything?
To explain everything.
Oh yes, for sure.
Right? Solo is the most recent example of that, right? Like having to explain all stuff. So
we joke about that in my office. We're soloing it. We're explaining everything or talking about things that don't need to be talked about.
Right, exactly. So that is a thing, and we're seeing that across every movie, every genre, every sort of thing. Things are explaining everything. Why is this like this? Blah blah blah. So that said, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Yeah.
That opening sequence explains how he became afraid of snakes, how he got the scar in his chin. It fell for all of these things. Why am I okay with that and not okay with the model?
I made fun of that scene at the time. I remember doing it.
Really?
Yes, I have a distinct memory of it, making fun of the whip cut. But
because that's the first moment of it.
But that's it. They stop at that point and they move on with their story.
Well, here's my argument for it. Is that sequence with River Phoenix as young Indiana Jones is a sequence of a movie that plays into the larger story and feeds the later story. You get introduced to his relationship with his father.
Yeah, and honestly, you take out the whip cut and sure he bases his look on the guy who beats him, but like I want to say it's not as bad as oh, you're all alone, I'll call you Han Solo. But maybe that's just me because I grew up with Indiana Jones.
No, but here's the thing: is that I think it's better than oh, you're all alone, you're Han Solo, because it helps serve the story. Mm-hmm. Whereas Solo is it's decorations on the cake, right? Where like the River Phoenix sequence is part of the cake, but all the shit in Solo that drove us crazy was on top of it. You're throwing stuff in just to throw stuff in.
Yes, because you still had a movie that stood on its own with The Last Crusade, whereas Solo is an entire film of basically fan service,
right?
And I wonder if it's a consequence of blogs, and everyone recapping and picking everything apart, and we've certainly been as guilty as anyone. But when you have a culture that's built around these 100 websites that pick apart every little thing, you sort of program to that,
right? And
you program to make your story immune to that. So you have to then explain everything,
right?
Because we've also reached a point in a culture where something that is not explained is called a plot hole, even though it's not a plot hole.
That's the worst. It's the worst.
Oh, how did he get the gun? Plot hole. Well, no, he got it somewhere. I mean.
Yeah.
Why do you think I watch TCM so much?
You watch a lot of TCM.
I do.
So how many hours per week of TCM do you think you watch?
Depends on if it's a holiday or not. Although I was just at my grandmother's house for Thanksgiving in Texas, and she has a weekly Cary Grant movie club that meets.
Wow.
It's really sweet. She's 93. She's about to turn 9. She's turning 94. She's turning 93. No help. I think she's turning 93. And she does Pilates once a week. She's still active. She's sharp as a tack, and she has this group of sort of awesome misfits in Texas that meet in her apartment every week and watch a Cary Grant film and then talk about it. So we had a great opportunity. We watched Notorious. We watched Notorious, and which is a great Hitchcock.
Sure, yeah.
Cary Grant film, and we spent about an hour talking about it afterwards. It was super fun. I just feel like they don't make those kind of movies, obviously. So you don't get a lot of dramas. You don't get a lot of human interest stuff. The tagline on TCM is they didn't have the wherewithal or the ability to make explosions, so they had to tell human stories. That's kind of one of the things they talk about. So I respond to human stories. So I spend a lot of time watching those movies.
It's funny because
I also go to see the ones at the theater, so it's fine.
I was about to lament the fact that I don't have cable, therefore I don't have TCM, but I just double checked and I have YouTube TV, and sure enough, TCM is one of the channels I get. So we could be watching The Shop Around the Corner right now. And after
great Jamie Stewart film.
And after it is is Holiday Affair with Robert Mitchum. So I think I've got to watch.
It is the best. If that channel goes, I will go down in flames. That'll be the breaking point. That'll be the breaking point. But I joined the Backlot this year. I'm part of the fan club.
Wow.
I'm waiting for my T-shirt. Should arrive soon.
Yeah.
I obviously love the big blockbusters, but I also like a drama, and you just don't get those all that often at the theater anymore. I mean, that's why I think I love The Stars Born as much. And I don't want to step on our discussion for the All Media Show, but it was a big prestige drama.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love Bohemian Rhapsody for a very similar reason. It was a big prestige drama.
Careful! You're treading into water.
But you just don't get those that much unless it's couched around a famous band, or it sucks.
Yeah, and even when you do, sometimes the stories aren't really what happened. Anyway, so
how good was Creed though? The first Creed.
See, this is the thing. This is the first Creed is really good, and I didn't watch
it. Better than it had any right to be.
Better than it had any right to be is exactly what I would say. I didn't see it in the theater. I watched it.
You should have seen it in the theater. It was so good.
Because I kind of did, and I was like, I remember finishing watching it, going, "This is really good." And so now
it's really good.
And the thing is, I'm worried about Creed 2 because it's not Coogler, and it's
Coogler's protege.
Okay.
That's all I'll tell you.
Okay. But I really kind of didn't want them to go to the Rocky IV well so quickly.
I'm going to just say this.
Because Rocky IV is my favorite Rocky of all of them.
I get it. I'll just, if it's your favorite Rocky, I think you're really going to be okay. The best scenes are the ones with Dolph Lundgren and Rocky together.
Oh, man. Rocky IV.
Dolph Lundgren, who lives not too far from over.
Oh, right by the Flash.
Yeah, near the Flash, Dolph Lundgren.
Rocky IV, also kind of a Christmas movie. The fight.
It was really sad. It was on the drive home from Creed 2. I couldn't remember what Rocky 3 was.
Rocky 3,
Rocky, obviously. Rocky 2 is the sequel. It's the direct sequel. He fights Clubber Lang. He fights Rapallo again. 4, obviously. But I was like, what the fuck happened in 3? I thought Clubber Lang was in 2 for some reason.
But who's
I just blocked it out.
At the end of 3 though? Is it Clubber Lang? He was in the beginning, wasn't he?
That's what I thought.
Yeah. But also Hulk Hogan was in Rocky 3.
Right, he fights the
Rocky 3's where Mick died.
Is Sylvester Stallone the least hairy Italian man ever in those movies?
Oh, you know who he fights in Rocky 3?
Who?
Apollo.
Again? No. It was really brilliant.
He trains with Apollo. That's what it is. I'm sorry. He trains. Oh, and it's Clubber Lang. That's who it is.
Right. Yeah. It was really, really brilliant of them to go back to the story, but through Apollo's family.
Yes.
That was the smartest thing they did. It was.
I love Creed.
It's
It's what the later Rockies should have been.
Yeah.
But they did this. They tried to do the same things with the later Rocky movies with Rocky Balboa or whatever that was, but it was genius to go through Apollo's. Yeah, totally.
I love Creed. We watched Creed. Was it Spotlight? We did a double feature one day. We go to a movie early. We have lunch. We go see another movie, and we did a Spotlight and Creed double feature, and very great movies for very different reasons. But Creed was such a good movie.
Yep,
such a good movie. And even though you're a Marvel employee, I hope Coogler gets to do other films besides.
Hey, I have no idea what's going on there, but yeah, I do too. I will say though, I will ding Creed on the. Wasn't there? Were they on motorbikes or were they on bicycles? Like the training montage, which I get echoes everyone running with Rocky, but like there's a point where they're circling him with motorcycles, and it's like, come on, man.
The movie's so good.
I love those.
I love movies.
How many Rocky movies have there been? So the 4. Then they did Rocky 5,
and then Rocky Balboa, Creed 2. So 8.
Is that
9? 9.
The 9.
Rocky 5, Rocky Balboa,
Rocky Balboa.
2, 8.
Rocky 5 was.
Now Stallone says he's done
after Creed 2. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he says. He says he's done.
8 movies. Yeah, that's crazy.
He should have won the Academy Award for Creed 2. For Creed,
yeah.
I think he should have. If you recall, I predicted it. Ooh.
Wow!
The glass is empty.
Enough with you, isn't it?
I predicted it on the Alt Media Show. I said he'd get the Academy Award nomination. He did.
Yeah.
He should have won it. Can we talk about how bad of a movie Ready Player One was?
Do you want to?
It was a horrible movie. I just watched it on Netflix a couple months ago. And I love Spielberg. I'm in the bag for Spielberg, but it was a bad movie.
Yeah,
it's a bad movie.
It's a bad movie. It's not a good movie. I'm not even. It
misses the entire point of not the book, but just sort of society right now.
Did you see it in the theater?
No, I saw it on Netflix. I got the disc.
So you watched it recently. Did you see the moment that Josh and both Josh and I started laughing out loud though?
What was it?
It's on topic with the holidays.
Okay.
The one line T.J. Miller's character says to the bad guy, "No man is a failure." I was the only person in the theater when everyone is when all the characters are running towards the castle and he's standing there on the balcony and he's looking at it and TJ Miller walks up to him and puts his arm around him and goes, "No man is a failure who has friends."
It's a great line. It's one of the all-time great lines.
It's a great that line got me. That line got me.
Speaking of which, have you received all my Christmas presents?
I did, and they've not been touched, and they've been moved under the Christmas tree. So I
use different.
I saw the tags. I read them. I read the tags. Did you like the quote? Did you get your birthday present? Did you like that?
Yes, I did. You've always been good about your quotes. And,
I did. Tags. I was trying to explain our lexicon of language of how we do things. Can we just take a moment and just reflect on how this truly is the most wonderful time of the year?
It is. I'm happiest from. I was discussing once Halloween happens, Halloween ends, and then you're on like a racetrack to the end of the year because it goes so fast. But you hit Thanksgiving and you hit Christmas and New Year's. It's just it's my favorite time of the year.
Yeah.
As dinner starts getting made. I don't know if you can hear that or not.
What do you have for dinner?
We're making mac and cheese. Again, it's been a day.
Yeah, it's been a day for sure.
What can we talk about in the last 10 minutes? Let's see. I don't know. That's not a good topic.
What?
I was going to ask you about the bird scooters that are about to be introduced into your life.
By the way, today I saw someone go by me on the street in Queens, not on a scooter, but on one of those single wheel with a motor.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted to just go like that. And
you guys are in for a world of fucking hurt when those scooters come around.
I know about it from San Francisco. I've heard all about it.
I know, but like in New York, it's not going to work in New York. New York is too compact.
Yeah.
So let's talk about holiday stuff. Are you in town? Are you going to your parents' house for the holidays?
Yeah, I'm gonna do Christmas Eve at my mom's, and we'll do the night of the seven fishes, where they make all seafood, which I don't eat. I just make a bowl of pasta for myself.
You don't eat any of the pasta, any of the
I
seafood?
don't like fish. I don't like fish. I eat the clams. I might have scallops in there. The scallops. I don't like lobster. I'll have the calamari.
Scallops is great. A good scallop will change your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I mention that one of my favorite Christmases of the last however many years was the year that me and you and Megan and Carrie went out and got like blitzed.
That was great.
By accident. We didn't mean to. But we got super blitzed and I was hungover for like a day and a half after that.
That was
a great time.
Epic night. That was an epic night. I wish you guys were coming back here. So
yeah, we were there last year. We alternate years. We're here. We're having our first LA Christmas. We're not going to New York or Santa Barbara or anywhere else that we've been, and looking forward to it. How's your tree?
Tree's fine. Man, you got drunk quickly.
This was 4 ounces of whiskey, and I've had no food today.
This is why
I've had a sandwich and 2 pieces of toast.
Yeah,
a small sandwich.
Yeah.
The day did not go as I planned.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the rest of the year. So people who are watching, we have one more pick of the week show, which I'm looking forward to.
Yep.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I'm really looking forward to that.
Which, by the way, and again, I work for Marvel. Disclaimer, whatever. If you are at all interested in comic books and or Spider-Man, go to Spider-Verse. Don't dismiss it because it's animated. Don't like whatever I saw it. I've already seen it. It is everything you're seeing about in the reviews are totally true. It is. There's a moment. There's a moment in the movie that made our good mutual friend who I work with do a spit take during the movie. It's great. It's great. So please, I can't wait to hear what you think about it, Connor. Everyone go see it.
So speaking of interesting partnerships, Amazon and Adam are partnering. They're doing early screenings of Aquaman.
Yeah.
I have a ticket to one of those. It's on the 15th. It comes out, a week before. But there's a banner saying if you're a member of Prime, you can go see Aquaman early. So that's another interesting thing that's going on with movie companies. But that's another one. So we'll have one more pick of the week show: Spider-Man, Aquaman, and the All Media show, which is recording next week.
Friday.
Friday, right?
Yep.
It's gonna be a long one.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a long one.
Be a long week. Someone in the chat room wanted to know my thought on the Mets Mariners trade.
I was gonna open with that. Fuck. I was gonna give you 5 full minutes to talk about the Mets.
All right, so Josh isn't here, so we've got 5. Just real quickly, my first glance was that I hated it because I didn't want Robinson Cano. He's
good. How much of that is due to steroids?
Zero tolerance. Some people caught with steroids and PEDs. Yeah. Zero tolerance. But one would have to think, how stupid would he be to do it again? But he's a ball player, so think about that.
Right.
But as I looked closer into the deal, I realized a couple things. Diaz, the reliever, that's the stud of the trade.
Yeah,
that's a great get. Secondly, they're giving up Bruce, who did nothing last year and would potentially make more money than Cano next year. Right. And they're giving up a bunch of people, some prospects, Swarzak, who did nothing last year as a reliever. And the fact that the Mariners are sending over $20 million in addition, when you do the math, the Mets actually come out spending less than they would have if they didn't make the trade. So as far as I'm concerned, it's a thumbs up. If I'm Jacob deGrom and I got no run support and I see them going to get Robinson Cano, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm happy with it. I'm good. Now, I'm pissed that they non-tendered Rumor because talk about the heart of the team. So we'll see what they're
now. Wasn't there another big trade that I was reading about today? That they're going after Kluber.
Yeah, well, that's the rumor. So
what if you think they're going to get rid of Syndergaard?
I think they're gonna. I don't know if they're going to. I think they're gonna dangle him and then try to move Wheeler.
Do you think it's because of his arm problems?
Wheeler or Syndergaard?
Syndergaard.
No. I just think that. I think when you're throwing that fast, that young, it's going to break at some point. His arm's going to break at some point, right? Like from what do we know about baseball? right?
Right.
He's not going to keep that up. And DeGrom is the ace. Like I've said from the get-go, DeGrom is the ace.
So Ron, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Any more holiday thoughts? Let's see. Should we talk about what we got Josh at Christmas?
Well, we got 5 minutes. We can take questions.
We can do Q&A if you want. Until then, we can talk about Josh's Christmas presents.
What did you get Josh for Christmas?
I got him some World War II books. He's not going to watch this. Something else. I got him a comic. I can't say what it is because I also got you the comics.
Okay, don't tell me.
But yeah, I got him a set of World War II books.
Nice. I haven't gotten him anything yet. I haven't done my shop. I haven't started shopping yet.
I did my shopping for you.
Yeah. You were so ahead of the game. It's not even fair.
I got panicked. Somebody mentioned shopping, and I got panicked that I hadn't done it yet, so I just started going crazy.
Well, yeah.
I actually don't even remember what I got you now.
Well, I can't open it till Christmas, so that's all.
Right.
All I know is that you'll fly back to New York and get mad and
murder you.
Whoa.
The least favorite thing about Christmas is not cold weather. It's great.
Do you miss the cold weather?
I do. During Christmas time, I miss it.
You bundle up pretty well. Like of all my friends, you're pretty good at bundling up. You're wearing a sweater,
well, yeah.
Which is crazy.
It's 60 degrees. It's cold.
whereas I do not bundle up well.
No, you don't. You never wear a heavy coat. Ever. I've never seen you wearing a heavy coat.
I have a good heavy coat. I have it. I just loathe to wear it. You know what? Because it's what I can't stand is that like I hate. It's what I used to call when we were in high school mall hot, because you'd wear the heavy coat to the mall and then you're walking around and you get all hot because you're wearing this heavy coat and you can't take it off because it's so big and bulky and it's What
are your Aquaman expectations?
I think.
I have no expectations. I liked him in Justice League, and I like him as an actor. Other than that, I have no expectations.
Yeah.
The sliding glass door is open. That tells you how cold it is. It got cold last week. It did get cold. It was into the low 50s, which is cold for LA.
Oh man, it was in the 20s during Thanksgiving here. It was bad. It was a tough cold snap. But all
right, 3 minutes. Any more questions? Otherwise, this is the final hangout for the year. We'll do it.
Can we thank everyone for their continued patronage?
Let's thank everyone. We love the voting. We love the chat in the on the Patreon page, but also if you're not a member of the Facebook group, if you're on the Patreon page, search Facebook, you'll find the links to that. There's a lot of chat on there. It's about the only thing I do on Facebook anymore is I go to the Facebook page. And thanks everyone who supports the show. We couldn't do it without you. We really couldn't. And
I love you guys.
We love everyone who comes out, hangs out with us once a month. And we do it for everybody, but you guys are the main driving force. So we do appreciate it.
The core.
Are sometimes drunken rambles.
Yeah. Sometimes. So, Connor, what is your holiday wish for all the patrons?
My holiday wish is that everyone has great comics to read over the break. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Just relax, enjoy them. They're stories. They're meant to entertain you for 10 minutes out of your day. That's all they're meant to do.
It's funny because at work we get a stack. I get a stack of every book that Marvel puts out during the week. But one of my staff is one of the co-hosts of the Pull List, which is the podcast about the comics. And so I give him my stack, and because I can read digitally and all that sort of stuff. And since I'm not collecting issues anymore, but now that Uncanny is coming out again, I brought the stack over to his desk. I'm like, here are the comics. I'm like, when you're done with Uncanny, I need it back. And so now I have a small little stack of Uncanny X-Men on my desk at work.
It's weekly now, right?
It's weekly for the first 10 issues. And then, or it's weekly for this event. And then Matt Rosenberg takes it over, and I think it goes bi-weekly. And honestly, Matt told me what's coming, and it's going to be good. So if you're whether or not you like or dislike what's going on currently in it, it gets to a point, and then it's going to be fun. So
okay, because weekly's tough.
Yeah, no, I agreed. For me too. I mean, and I work there. It's tough. Yeah. So,
Okay, so that's it. We're out of time. Thanks everyone coming up for the December hangout. We appreciate it. I had a lot of fun. I drank a lot of whiskey on no food, so I'm gonna go eat some. And happy holidays, whatever you celebrate, and happy New Year. We'll talk to you all in January, but of course we'll be back at the end of the week for the Pick a Week show. Until then,
bye everybody.
Bye everybody.